Saints favored by 8.5 against the Bajents.
The Bajents.
Bajent is back.
The Fighting Bajents.
Agent of Change in Chicago.
Wow.
That was a headline. That was a headline in Chicago papers.
Yeah, I didn't think it was a Steve Palazzolo original. It didn't have your it didn't have the flavor of your brain to it.
Not like the Winston Churchill quote last year. That was great. It's a great clip. I should push that out again. Saints by 8.5. Well, can the Saints build on last week, man? I told you, after 8 straight weeks of me predicting the Saints offense breakout, I'm out, and all of a sudden, Carr's thrown for an easy 300. Rashid Shaheed, Chris Olave in a self-proclaimed slump, which you can kind of see on the field. Things are off with Olave, but I still have a lot of faith in him.
He's still a good player. I mean,
he's a very good player.
It's not like he's been playing terribly.
That's why the Saints should be dangerous. I do think at the end of the day, our preseason pick, at least mine, the Saints to win the NFC South. I think the Falcons will hang tough. I think at some point the Bucs probably drop off, but the Saints should, at the end of the day, be a game or two better than everybody else in the South if they play to their capabilities. And I thought last week was a big step in that right direction.
But is the narrative on Chris Olave struggling literally because of that one pass that hit him in the head?
I think he was saying. I think I saw a quote from him. Yeah.
But he's been playing fine. I mean, okay, the one pass that hit him in the head, that was a bad drop.
Yeah, but there's been other, not on the same page type of plays and different things with Derek Carr.
I'm not saying he's been great, but the dude, he's fine. There's no problem with Chris Olave other than he's not playing like the best receiver, in his draft class or whatever.
One thing I can't figure out how to properly weigh. Last year, Derek Carr was in a new offense. And remember early in the season, him and Devontae Adams always like a tick off. They just never felt like they were on the same page. And theoretically, it's like new offense, new system, terminology. They'll figure it out. They'll get it. And instead of that happening, Carr got benched. You could use that same analysis now, right? New offense, new system, getting used to the new receivers. At some point, is the Saints offense just going to start clicking? So was last week that turning point? That's what I'm keeping an eye on here. Against this Bears defense with limited pass rush and limited coverage ability, I think the Saints should be able to have some success.
Yeah, they should be much better. It's a good defense. They're going to challenge receivers. I feel like this might be a rough game for Tyson Bagent, just because his guys are not necessarily going to be open. They're going to try and take away his first read. They're going to make him work through a progression, do all the things that young quarterbacks, Division II or not, generally struggle with. So that might be rough. Seeing the impact of Montez Sweat on the worst pass rush, the worst defensive line in the NFL, that'll be fun to monitor, particularly because the Saints' offensive line generally isn't great. So Montez Sweat could have some success in this game. Yeah, there's a few things to watch, but generally speaking, the Saints should be significantly better than Tyson Bagent.
Yeah. Pass the ball, stop the pass. Saints are number 5 PFF coverage grade, so I think they'll cover the 8.5 in the dome here.
God, it's a lot of points, though.
It is.
A lot of points. Okay. I will also go with the Saints, even though I don't like that number of points.